ICAP is a leading interdealer broker, introducing parties to trades and profiting from that business. In this video, we're talking to Julie Carruthers, whose team look after data and reconciliations. One of the things we know about data is that when you move it between systems, it tends to get distorted or modified. Julie's team uses the hosted self-service application DUCO Q to reconcile this data and look out for distortions and modifications so they get picked up and resolved.
I'm Julie Carruthers. I am Head of Operations for our Global Broking Division at ICAP. Some of it is transactional data, so we do a lot of front office, back office recs. Some of it is integrity of data across those numerous systems, but it's also used for traditional Nostro, Vostro and recs that you would do in a finance area. So we actually share DUCO between us and our finance division. Because historically we have a lot of systems. I'm sure that's the case for everybody, but the problems we encounter, or the challenge, is making sure that all of that data from different systems is pulled together in order to be able to send a report. And we've never had that challenge before. Because the systems are functional in nature, for example, they will have the same counterparty, but it will be called something different in each system, or an instrument will be called something slightly different in each system. And that's a legacy issue where those systems were built purposely for that one business line or product. So we have to now standardize that data and make sure that we, in the lack of a golden source, make sure that data is consolidated and accurate before it goes out the door. DUCO actually helps us because there's a number of rules that those IT processes respect, but we actually reconcile that logic back to the regulator. So our own IT processes do their rules, produce a report, that then goes to the regulator, but then we actually look at that day's volume and make sure that those rules have been interpreted correctly. So there's a lot of belts and braces around the process. DUCO has a workflow capability, and also there's a dashboard. So it's really easy for me or my managers to see that A, the rec's being performed, B, you can track the workflow, make sure that somebody actioned the reconciliation, and see that the day's business is complete. So the DUCO gives me that transparency, and that's what we don't get from someone doing a spreadsheet and ticking a checklist. Some of the recs that we do don't really work in Excel, so the data integrity recs we can, but we do some front office and back office recs as well. So we could do them in Excel, but the world we live in now, that is no longer fit for purpose. It's no longer fit for purpose to say, I've done a rec and I ticked a check sheet. Those days have gone. At ICAP, we have specific emphasis on our control environment, so that just won't cut it anymore. And also, because we live in a world where we have to demonstrate we've done these things, and I think that's a big shift in our industry. We all know we run an orderly shop, but the pressure and emphasis to show that and demonstrate that you've done those checks and balances is greater than ever before. They definitely understand the data. They understand the product differentiation, they understand the clients, they understand the complexity of entities in our clients. They need to know all of that, and they do. Yeah, because again, if you have a spreadsheet and you just do that on a daily basis, it doesn't allow you to have a story to go to somebody and say, we've had a number of breaks, it's unacceptable, here's the trend, here's the reason, code Y. It's allowed me to have a dialogue with the business to say, you need to help me fix this process. It's really opened that up for us. It doesn't have to go off to the IT department, and that's one of the biggest appeals. So the people who actually perform the function feel invested in the process because they can identify a reconciliation, and we just talk to DUCO about creating that reconciliation. They can do that themselves. And where something does need to be developed, we give it into DUCO and it goes through the normal channels. So the people actually using the tool feel they understand it and are empowered to work on it and build on it as well. The hard thing is when you take a say we reconcile back to an exchange, it's translating what they call those things. But we know that, we're experts, so we know that something on an exchange file called A is actually what we're booking as B. So we've got that expertise to actually tally those fields to each other. With MiFID II, there's just going to be more and more scrutiny and more, we need more capability to get accurate, timely data out the door to new services such as APAs and ARMs. So it's only just going to get harder and harder to collate all this data. It's definitely not diminishing. More is coming. I'd say to them that they need to identify the key control recs and make sure that their backyard is in good order. And to do that, they need to partner with a service to do that. And they need to do that quickly, in my opinion. It really focus on what matters, what's important, the risks associated with not doing that, and then find a partner that can turn that around quickly. And you need a partner that is agile too, because it's constantly changing, our market and the demands on us.